Now, OC's cranking up the highlight machine. It's time for high school football and the WSAV Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show, powered by OC Welch Ford Lincoln.
Welcome to the Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show. I'm Joey Lamar, joined by Kobe Zach, and our game of the week was Jenkins at Southeast Bullock. This is a really big matchup in Region 3 for Class AAA. If Jenkins win, they could potentially take control of the region and have it locked up before we hit the end of the season.
I mean, it's just been fun to watch Jenkins all year, and they've earned this spotlight. They've earned the game of the week, and they always perform under the lights. So it's just everyone was excited for this one.
All right, let's see how they did perform under the lights. Southeast Bullock actually led in this game 14-9, but the second half was all Jenkins, and it was the defensive side of the ball that really stood out. Southeast Bullock's pass picked off by Zaire Sanders. He's 6'5" and returns the ball for a touchdown, 31-14 Jenkins. Now we go to the fourth. We have the same score, and it's Demetrius Holloway finding Dominic Johnson for the score, 37-14. Southeast Bullock did make a late charge after scoring and recovering an onside kick. Kobe Smith catches a pass out of the backfield, and it's a 9-point game, but Jenkins will recover the next onside kick and take a knee. Jenkins picks up the win in this one. Huge victory for them, 37-28.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect the fight in Southeast Bullock, too. It's a great Jenkins team. They're really able to slow them down kind of after that first half and put together a comeback. It fell short, but you got to hand it to them.
There were some people who were worried that maybe Jenkins would have some trouble with Southeast Bullock, and they did early on, but they were able to figure it out. All right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, we're going to move over to another good one. I even previewed this one at 5 at Savannah Country Day hosting Swainsboro. We're going to open this up in the first quarter. Swainsboro on third down. They're going to run up at Country Day's Thomas Holland with a great fill and tackle to force a punt. So now Country Day on offense. The sophomore quarterback, Devin Trawick's looking deep. He throws a bomb to Peyton Bean, who hauls it in for the monster gain. The Hornets are in business. Looking to capitalize now. Tarwick is going to keep it himself on the zone read for the Hornet touchdown, but they wouldn't get much more than that. Swainsboro wins this one, 42-14.
All right, excellent shooting, Kobe. Let's go over to Savannah High Stadium. Beach taking on Johnson. We'll start in the first quarter. Beach already up 7-0, and they are driving again, and it's Javion Williams scrambling to his right, and he's going to unload a deep ball to Kawan Ferguson, who catches this in the end zone for a touchdown, and it is 14-0 Beach. Later in the first quarter, Beach on the inch line, and they rush in for the score again. It's 21-0, and as we go ahead and get to the second quarter, the score is still 21-0, and it's Caden Moore. I'm sorry, it's a completion, but Caden Moore strips it, and then we have a fumble recovery by Jamarion Johnson, and that will be the only really blemish for Beach tonight as they get the win in this one, 42-7.
Yeah, we're going to move over now to Liberty County. How about them looking to start 7-1, taking on Groves. The Panthers, they got off to a great start in this one, too. They're up 22-0. They swing it out to their guy, Elijah Brown, who's had a monster season, and he will just not go down on this play and take it all the way in for the long touchdown, juking the entire roster on the other side. Liberty County's defense has been a huge reason for the great start. Plays like this, 2 guys getting the ball for the huge hit, and plays like this. Groves trying to get on the board before halftime through the air. Good tackle, and Liberty County's Rashad Woods strips this as he's going down. What a play, and the Panthers cruise to 7-1. They win at 43-6.
All right, let's go over to Morrisfield in Daffin Park. We have St. Andrews taking on Pinewood Christian. Both teams starting region play, only 4 teams in this region. And in the first quarter, it's Sam Wasson who rushes in for the score for Pinewood. It's 8-0 after they convert the 2-point conversion. Then on St. Andrews' second offensive possession, it's Maddox Lewis who intercepts the pass, and off the turnover is JoJo Tippett who forcefully runs into the end zone. The score is 16-0 after another successful PAT.
It's like Cam Scatabo last night.
And it would be Vinewood Christian getting the win in this one, 39-12.
We're going to move over now to Toombs County. We've got Savannah Christian taking on Vidalia, and we're going to open up with a connection that we have seen a lot this year. It's Blaze Thomas finding Weston Hughes for the touchdown. They're just like peanut butter and jelly with how well they work together. They've been awesome this year. Yeah, exactly. I was going to sing it too. But also, later in the quarter, Savannah Christian's going to run on the option. The pitch to Wesley Dinkins cuts it back. This one was a huge gain. He is only a freshman, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
And then later in the drive, Savannah Christian is going to get the ball across the goal line for the touchdown. The score was 28-0 at the break. Your final was 37-14 in favor of the Raiders.
All right, it's a showdown in the Badlands as it's the Hornets taking on the Warriors, Tattnall County and Cook. And we have 11 minutes left in the first quarter, and it's Cook's quarterback, Jaden Joyner, passing the ball to Malcolm Merritt, and he's able to run down the field for a big gain. He falls just short of the goal line. And then later, Cook County's MJ Tippins able to find his way through the middle for a touchdown. So a score on the board for Cook, and then 2 minutes left in the first quarter. This is 3rd and 22. That's pretty long. Something must not have gone right on the first two downs because it's 3rd and 22.
Ball here either,
yeah. But it's MJ Tippins able to receive this pass, and it's another score for Cook. Tattnall County falls in this one, 31-21.
So that's a little better than picking up the first down.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 22. Moving over now. We've got South Effingham taking on Glenn Academy. 0-0, and Glenn strikes first on the outside for the touchdown. It is 7-0 after the PT, but trouble for Glenn now. Punting out of their own end zone. This play is blown dead. South Effingham on the board with a safety, because watch this. The punter's knee was down before he kicked it, but Glenn, I mean, they didn't let it rattle them in the slightest. They've got this kid, Max Noonan, at quarterback. Just makes players look silly. He escapes multiple tackles and sacks, finds the sideline. He would take this one 82 yards all the way to the house for the touchdown, and Glenn Academy would only let up that safety. They win this one, 28-2.
All right, congrats to Glenn Academy. South Effingham still having a great year, though. Still having a great year. All right, let's take out to Sylvania for Screven County as they take on Metter. And with 30 seconds left in the first half, let's see what we have here. Metter with the ball. They snap it to Michael Ricks, and he's forced to move out of the pocket. Finds his man, Abram Price, who gets the ball. And he comes down with just enough for a first down, and that will bring us to halftime. Metter looking for something big now. Michael Ricks again passes over to Keyshawn Polk, and he's going to get the ball and make some moves on the defense. Going to book it down as the Screven County defense is able to catch up with him. And I think they got the ball at the end. It came loose, and Screven County recovered it. Then the final play on the first half, it will be a quarterback kneel from Screven County. This will send it to the half. Screven County took the lead had the lead at that point, and they take the win this one, 27-7. All right, so we got really fired up. We went through a lot of games, a lot of big, important region games. I'm ready to see some more big-time games.
Yeah, me too. Let's do it.
All right, coming up next on Friday Night Blitz, we go down to Toombs County. Could Vidalia upset Savannah Christian?
And we'll have the performance of the week. Did it come from the game between Beach and Johnson?
You're watching the Friday Night Blitz on WSAV. Go Bulldogs!
Come back to the WSAV Friday Night Blitz Highlight Show. Powered by O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln.
Kobe. All right, Kobe, what do we have?
No, I don't even. Usually I have some kind of guess. I like the rhythm, though. They're really getting down to it. But,
All right, this is I Like. It's an old school jam by High Five. I like the things you do to me.
It was right on the tip of my tongue, too.
I like. It brings me ecstasy. I like. No, okay.
You want to keep going?
No, I actually don't, because my singing voice is not that good. Yes. I thought you were going to stop me, but you didn't.
Let's get back to what we're good at, talking about football here. We're going to go out to Effingham County as they take on Evans. Yes. We're going to start this one. It is.
Feel free to stop me next time I start singing.
No, I'll actually keep going. It's good entertainment for me. We got Effingham County close to the goal line. Handoff to J.R. McKenzie. Goes up the middle, but this one's stopped by the Evans defense. We've got the next play. It's a toss to McKenzie again, who's trying to get in on the outside this time, but he's stopped again. Even pushed back for a little bit of a loss of yards, but the third time is a charm. This one goes to Chris Sweeney, who gets it out and finds the end zone for Effingham County to put them on the board with the touchdown. This one was all Rebels. They win it 36-0.
All right, let's go. May River hosting Bishop England as both teams continue region play. And we have 2 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Sean Mitchell, he's going to run the ball, resulting in a huge gain here right at you and almost knocking out our camera person, but she was okay. She was okay because later in the drive, she was able to pick up this as May River continues to drive. They put the ball on the ground. Bishop England would recover just outside their own 30-yard line. And we're going to stay in the third quarter as Bishop England inside the that's a completion from Bishop England. This next play is Bishop England inside the 5-yard line, and they're going to score. Brody Totten barrels into the end zone to cut the deficit to 14-7. That'll be the last score. Mary River wins this one 14-7.
Yeah, we're going to move over to one. We got First Baptist taking on Hilton Head Christian. We're going to start this one in the beginning of the first quarter. Both teams are scoreless. Jackson Richardson takes the ball all the way to the 50-yard line. That's a big first down here for Hilton Head Christian. Trying to keep rolling now. Later in the drive, we go to the Eagles. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. Cress Langles takes the ball all the way inside the 5-yard line. So now Hilton Head Christian, after he gets tackled, is set up for a 1st and goal. So now a few plays later, looking to see if they could capitalize on both those good runs, and they are able to. Right here with another run. They made it 6-0 Hilton Head Christian, but unfortunately they missed this PAT. But Hilton Head Christian would still come out on top, 33-6.
All right, we've got Denmark Olar at Hardyville. We're going to start this one off with a minute left until halftime. Denmark in the lead and making another touchdown, and followed by a conversion, making it 24-8. And now we got Denmark with an onside kick, just going for it all here. And they are able to recover. They're able to recover, so they get the ball back. And they were going to finish this one off in the second quarter with Hardyville on offense, going for a field goal. That kick is good, and it's Hardyville gets the win in this one, 47-24.
Yeah, let's move over to another South Carolina matchup. We've got Ridgeland hosting Allendale Fairfax, and we start with Allendale backed up all the way in their own end zone. The snap is fumbled too and recovered by Ridgeland in the end zone for the touchdown. Your offense loves to see that. They would also get the 2-point conversion. They're up 8-0, so Ridgeland gets it back to Tyshawn Smith with a deep ball to Javon Phillips. What a catch there, making his way all the way into the end zone for 6. That's another touchdown, and Ridgeland going for 2 again, and they're going to get in again to make it 16-0, and Ridgeland wins this one in a shutout, 30-0.
All right, let's go to some big action in Class, Region 1 of Class 6A. Valdosta and Richmond Hill, senior night at Bazemore Heidegger Stadium. Valdosta on the board for Richmond Hill's quarterback drops back and gets intercepted. Jalen Copeland. This, folks, is what they call a pick 6. Wow, Valdosta on the board, and then they would get another pick 6 on the very next drive. But now the Wildcats have the ball, and it's Parks Brodford who finds Marcus Fennell for a big gain. And then on the same drive is Broadfoot again to Prince John, who jukes his way to the goal line. And on the same drive, Broadfoot again, finally in for the touchdown. Richmond Hill falls in this one, 41-0.
We're going to go over to Appling County. They're taking on Crisp County. Appling was up 22-7 at the half. Second half now, Chris Deshaun Fed takes the opening second half kickoff, and he's going to turn on the Jets. And usually it's either a turnover or a touchdown if we're going to show you special teams at all.
That's correct.
This one was the latter. He's in for the score, 22-14 now. Appling County still up, though. And then in the next kickoff, Appling County would fumble this one. So we got best of both worlds, score and a fumble on the special teams.
Goodness. Come on, Appling.
That's recovered by Chris Darrell Brown. Cougars trailed 22-20. Special teams comes in clutch. There's the block for Appling County, and they're able to go out and win this one.
I'm sorry, here's the block right here. However, Appling County is able to get the win in this one, 29-27. All right, let's go to Statesboro hosting the number 10 team in the state, Brunswick. And you've heard this name a lot if you watch Statesboro. Keon Childers. He's going to get to the outside here and rush in for the score. He's had an incredible season. Coach introduced me. He was a sophomore, and he has just blossomed, just been blossoming. I love to see him do well. Then the defense gets in on the act. It's the trifecta. It's the sack, it's a forced fumble, and the recovery for Statesboro as they take over possession of the football. But it will be the visitors rebounding as the quarterback keeps the ball on the dive. He's in for the score to make it 14-7. But Statesboro will look like the team that won state championships back in the past as Childers scores again. They pull off the upset, 28-21.
And from Thursday, we had Islands hosting Cavalry Day, and the Cavs, Well, they're going to open up the scoring as they do in a lot of games. Emerson Lewis is going to reach across the goal line for 6 points here, and the Cavs would get it back. They're up 7-0, looking for more. James Mobley going deep. What a play from Wilder Pratt of Islands for the interception, but Islands unfortunately wouldn't be able to turn it into points. The Cavs would get it back 14-0. Mobley swings it out to MJ Knight, who walks in for the touchdown at the end of the first quarter. Cavalry Day just kept their foot on the gas the whole time. In this one, Zay Middleton is in for the rushing touchdown. And Cavalry Day improves to 6-1 on the year with a 42-8 victory.
Now, OC's Play of the Week, presented by OC Welch Ford Lincoln.
Of the week is going to come from Beach and Johnson. Javion Williams finds K'Juan Ferguson for the score here. A little toe tap action too as Beach gets the win tonight. What a play.
All right, our performance of the week comes from our game of the week as Dominic Johnson. He had a rushing touchdown. This is his receiving touchdown. Jenkins essentially locks up the region title, 37-28. They win.
And now over to our shot of the week. It's the one that we just took a look at, Cavalry Day. It's Wilder for Islands. What a play. I can't say too much.
Very controversial. Okay, this one went back and forth. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. All right, let's go ahead to next week. Our Blitz game of the week will be Bluffton and Hilton Head Island. In Bluffton as Hilton Head visits May River. You can watch that on the CW at 7:30 p.m.
And two other games worth mentioning are Williamsburg taking on Bethesda. This will be a Thursday night matchup and a rematch of the 2023 GIAA Class AA State Championship, which was won by Bethesda. And then on Thursday, the tough region schedule continues for Jenkins. They'll host Long County.
All right. So that's another one in the book. Really impressed with all the games that we saw. For Kobe Zach, I'm Joey Lamar. We're going to leave you guys with one final look at some of the games that we were not able to get to.